We're back!
Hello?
Oh, he's so cute. This is Freddie. He's genuinely this is my manager. He edits, he does it all, you know. He's just a man of many talents, but yeah. So today we're going to be talking about girls. And not only that, but kind of was thinking of like doing one where it's like about girls and stuff, but like also kind of like males, like the kind of male perception. The kind of like male perception of girls and like what they think. Because I had a friend last night. He wants down. The manager said it's his break, so welcome back to the pod. Today I thought I'd just kind of talk about like what I've been up to, and I'd just keep you in the loop with my life. And also I thought I'd talk about just like girls today. Like I felt like I've met a lot of really cool women recently and done a lot of cool thing with women, and I don't know. And I feel like I've also like had a lot of crazy male views on women and stuff like that, so I thought I'd just talk about like the crazy things that I've been told like just recently. I've got a couple guy pals that just say the most like ludicrous shit. Like, see, last night I was with my mate and I was kind of just talking about this, and I was like, what do you think I should talk about, you know, like what next? I love to get other people's like opinions and stuff like that, because it's literally not me watching these, do you know what I mean? Like, it's not me that's going to be watching myself and being like, she's funny, or you know, like that, oh, I agree to that, or I can relate to that. So I was like, so what do you actually think? And sometimes I'll ask girls, I'll ask my guy pals, I'll even ask family, just like every different type of person. So when I was speaking to him about it, he was like, who do you think like is the people that, well, he was like, he never asked me, he was kind of set on it. He was like, I think this is like your audience, and I think this is the way it should be. You should maybe say like, talk about different like groups of females and stuff like that are in Scotland, and like, because that'll probably be your target audience. And I was like, yeah, this is crazy, like you're right, so what will I say? And it was kind of funny because it was almost like I was asking him, I was kind of egging him on to tell me advice, but I just kind of wanted to get his genuine opinion and thoughts on like who he thought were maybe watching my videos, or like who the types of things he thought I would be saying on this stuff, do you know what I mean? Because I just knew it would be so like female forward. It was probably like, he probably sees it as like, it's kind of like when I'm with him, he probably sees it as like he's the Ethan and I'm like the Trisha, like frenemies, do you know what I mean? So I was like, I want to know what he's got to say. And he fully was just like, maybe just talk about like groups of like girls, like, you know, the teenage girls that like hang about, or like they walk about with like big speakers, like blasting music through like centres and stuff like that, and just be like, does every girl do this? Or like, did all young groups of girls do this? Like, you know, you can, and he was like, you can talk about like how you were brought up, all these different kind of groups of girls and stuff like that, and like, and he was like, and it'll be funny because like you are a girl and you're a Scottish girl, so this will be funny, like you can relate to it. And do you know what I was thinking to myself? I was like, I genuinely don't know if I can though. Like, I genuinely was like, I don't know if I can relate to it. Like, I can't just say that. He was like, you know, when like a guy that talks about something that he's like interested in or something like that is funny, or something he does and they kind of mock themselves, that's funny. And I was like, I genuinely do that on my own, but I don't just mock the fact that I'm like a girl or like I do female stuff. I just mock the fact that stuff that I do is just the most crazy, like just wired stuff. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I just kind of like, it was a really like, just, I don't know, it just got me thinking. I was like, this is so crazy. Like, I genuinely feel like this is going to be such a weird topic. So that's why I've also put the kind of twist on it of like, I want to know how a man would perceive that as well, or like situations where I've been in where a man's completely perceived something different. But yeah, I've been surrounded by a lot of cool women recently, so I felt like talking about girls would be the number one thing that I wanted to do. I've just got so many supportive girls in my life right now, like I cannot lie. I went on a night out with like my kind of like pole group not that long ago, and that night was so fun. It was so fun. Everyone was so different. There was so many different age groups there, and we all just got on like a house on fire. Like, I hadn't met some of them, and everyone just got along so well. And it was just a really nice night. I ended up staying out and genuinely getting so drunk. My pal ended up losing her phone, and oh my god, it was just genuinely like, it was horrific. Like, if anyone knows the fear of losing their phone on a night out, that it was that times 10, because we were steaming. Like, it genuinely got to the point where we were sat there like frantically, like we were in Revolution in Glasgow, and it got to a point where she's like, maybe I dropped it in the bathtub in Revolution and like we need to go find it. I genuinely am in this ball pit fully digging trying to find her phone, and it wasn't in there. So I was like, great. Yeah, no, eventually, like, she, like, went home and her boyfriend had, like, a spare phone, so she managed to get, like, another type of phone, and she'd backed it up. I don't know, I am so not an iCloud girly, like, I don't back anything up, but if I could give anyone advice, it'd be back it up. The amount of times I've lost a phone, broke a phone, and I've not had anything backed up, and I've just had to start from scratch. genuinely, see when she came in to Pole, like literally, it was last night, she told me, she was like, don't worry, I've got another phone, everything backed up anyway, so it's not, like, not a complete loss. I was like, wow, that was the most smart, like, most, like, mature adult thing I've ever heard to do, because I would never back my phone up, like, I would genuinely not. Like, if I lost it, that's it, everything's gone with it, genuinely. But at least we got home safe, you know, like, there's also a bonus, and it was a class night, like, you know what I mean, like, sometimes you need to, like, sacrifice something, and unfortunately that was a phone that night, but we had a good time. So yeah, another thing that I've been up to is I went to a gig the other night there too, and it was like one of those most random gigs ever, like, genuinely, I'm actually kind of embarrassed to say the artist on here, because I feel like I'm going to get dragged, and I felt genuinely like this is just going to be, like, kind of more appealing to, like, a younger audience. I was literally like, oh no, I can't, honestly, this is so embarrassing. Guys, I literally, when I was like 15, 16, like, I genuinely was hardcore, like, emo vibes, like, genuinely loved, like, not, this doesn't really go under emo music, I suppose, like, I don't want any of the genre, like, gatekeepers to come after me right now, genuinely, like, it was like that kind of cringe SoundCloud rap era, you know. It wasn't even cringe for me, like, I still ate it up, like, I can't lie, and, like, I had a good time, like, the gig was amazing, like, genuinely. It was, like, basically, it was Lil Tracy, and, like, I was, like, mortified to go, because none of my friends knew what to do, or, like, where to go, and I was like, okay, shit, like, I'm gonna need to think fast, because I literally have a ticket. So I ended up going with one of my friends. It was literally an old client that I'd pierced, like, a wee while ago, and she was like, she came forward and she was like, oh, cool, like, can I come with you? And I was like, yeah, of course. So we went together, and we had such a good time. Honestly, at the start, it was like we were so worried about how we were going to get there and stuff like that. Like, she'd been logged out with Ticketmaster, and, like, her other phone had access to all these emails that she didn't have the passwords to. And I was like, at one point I was thinking, we are not getting in these doors, like, we are not going to go to this gig. And we ended up going, and it was actually so good. Like, I can't even lie, like, I was literally living my 15-year-old best life. Like, I don't know if there's, like, an artist or, like, a singer or that you just, like, listened to when you were really young, and then eventually when, like, it was basically like Lil Peep was like what I was my shit. So, like, when I heard Lil Tracy was performing, I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna go. And I hate to be one of those ones, because I know TikTok's been absolutely rinsing people that were just going for that, but I did like Lil Tracy, so it was like, it wasn't all bad, you know. But I did feel kind of bad when I was just kind of like screeching when he was like playing the Peep songs, but I think most of us were, so, you know. And I met so many nice people that night. Like, it's one of those ones where it's like you're so scared to go. Like, I'm saying I look too normie. Like, I feel like I was one of the only blonde bitches in that whole, like, room. All, like, there were so many, like, cool, like, just cool looking alt girls. Like, genuinely everyone, their styles were, they went all out. Like, they'd been planning these outfits for God knows how long. Like, they looked so cool. I felt so ridiculously out of place. I tried to wear a cool outfit, but I was like, fuck, like, I feel like I've been outdone by everybody in here right now. But they were so nice. It's like one of those ones where it's like they're intimidating you, but you're still going to go out and be like, you look so cool, you know? Like, and I remember complimenting a couple of girls, like, outfits and stuff, and we ended up becoming such good friends and stuff like that, like, getting Instas, and, like, it was just really sweet. Like, it was one of those ones where I was so nervous, but worked out in the end, and we had such a good night. I genuinely, like, that first night out I went out, I got so drunk. Like, I genuinely got to the point where I was out of it by when we were in the ball pit trying to find the phone. And I remember just drinking so much, but, like, that night out to that gig, I had 2 drinks, and I genuinely was, that floored me. Like, I was sick, and I wasn't even sick in the first time, so I genuinely was, like, scarred. Like, I was scarred. I was like, how can I could drink so much and be fine, and then drink so little, and that's what kills me? But I just feel like it's kind of like one of those things where it's like, it doesn't matter how much you drink, it's just the day you drink it, genuinely. Like, I feel like the more you drink, the easier the hangover is. The hangover is the next day. Like, what's the concept behind that? Like, I don't understand. Even the train here, like, people were really nice. Like, there was actually, like, one guy who literally let me on the train today and was just so friendly. He was like, oh, he just let me on first, and it was so sweet. Like, he was standing with all his friends too, and he literally just lets me on, and all these other friends are just, like, pouring into the train, and I just genuinely was like, oh my god, thank you so much. Like, genuinely I was like, thanks. And then when I got off, he was getting off at the same stop, and he did that again, and I just felt so bad. Like, how nice is that? Like, I just feel like that's so kind of hard to come by. Like, genuinely just so nice of someone to just be like, oh, you can go first, you know. When I got on the train, actually, like, I feel like like, see when you sit down at a table and the train's, like, starting to get more busy, like, I always, well, let's just say it from the view of I am the one going on it and I'm about to sit down at a table. I walk on and I always what? I always ask the person, can I sit there? Like, can I sit with you? It's like, is that alright? I'm just so worried about people being like, ooh, why is she sat next to us? So I'm always like, it doesn't matter who you are, I'm always like, can I sit there? Like, is that alright? Is that seat free? And they're always like, yeah, like, no worries. So see, when people do it when I'm on the table, I always get so weirded out by it. Like, I swear to God, this couple, like, older couple, sat down at the table with me, and this woman's like giving me, like, she gave me such a dirty look and then just never made eye contact with me at all. And I was just like, oh my God, like, what did I do? Like, I felt so bad. I was like, you can smile, like, even just like a wee, that would have done. Like, you don't even need to ask to sit with me. Like, just even a smile, please, anything. I just find it so rude. Like, why are some people like that? I don't know. I need views on that. Is that kind of weird for me to sit down and be like, can I sit there? Like, should I just assert my dominance and just sit in that seat with my bag? But I don't know. I just feel like it's nice to just kind of at least smile at someone or be like, is that right? Or I'll even compliment someone. Like, the last time I complimented a girl on the train, I was like, I love your shoes and stuff like that. Like, I just feel like it's nice to just be nice, Like, just if you're feeling down, compliment someone else. And I genuinely feel like when you see how happy you make them feel, then it's all one to them. Like, the other day, like I said, when I was going to that gig, I'm standing outside the train station and I'm wearing this like crazy short skirt and I am paranoid. Like, I wore a pair of shorts underneath it because like there's no way that my whole ass would have been out, like dead ass, like you fully seeing like what I had for breakfast straight up with that skirt. So I was like, right, I need to put on shorts for this, and that's the only way I'm going to be comfortable. So I literally have fucking a pair of tights on and a pair of shorts on and my skirt, and I'm constantly pulling it down, and I'm on the phone at my mum because I'm awkwardly standing waiting on like my friend coming, and this woman's like clearly sees me like struggling, and she's like, you look great, by the way, like you look fine, your skirt's fine. And I was like, what? And I remember just pulling my AirPod out and she was like, your skirt is fine, like it's an alright length, like it's not, and you couldn't even see my shorts, so genuinely she just thought I was wearing this really short mini skirt, and she was like, you look great, like she was just hyping me up for no real reason, and I just found that so strange, like, and I was just like, thank you so much, like that is so nice. Like, I just feel like, see, when women just support other women like that, it genuinely, like, it makes your day. Like, that made my whole night, like, hearing her say that, because I was like so paranoid. And then I even felt like every time someone says something like that, I always feel like I need to justify myself, so I'm like kind of like, no, but look, I'm wearing shorts underneath it, like don't worry, it's not just that short. And she's like, oh well, she was like, lift up, like bend over, shake your ass then. And I was like, you know what, queen, like I genuinely, I love that energy from her. Like, that was just so, it just made me feel so much more comfortable. Like, I think she could genuinely see like the anxiousness on my face, which is genuinely just my face, unfortunately. Like, that's just always plastered all over it. It's like she looks like she's having a really shit time. Like, I remember, like, there's the first couple of times I started dancing. I'm saying first couple of times, I mean, like, every time I go there I have such a resting bitch face. And they're always like, Aleah, why do you come here? Like, you always look like you're not enjoying yourself. And it's genuinely, like, I could be having the most life-changing experience, loving it, but my face will look genuinely like I'm in pain. Like, I look like I'm in physical pain, or I'm in, like, just I've been told the worst news ever. Like, and it's just me. Like, it's so bad. And it's like, I consciously know I'm doing it, but I can't change it. So clearly she just seen that and she was like, yeah, that girl looks like she's having a fucking hard time. Like, she's having a rough day. So she was just like, might as well just tell her she looks good. Do you know what I mean? And I appreciate it so much. So shout out to her. Hope she's doing okay. Genuinely, like, wish you the best with your life, because that is the type of girls we need. Like, there's so many nice, supportive women out there, and I genuinely have came across so many recently, and it's been so good. Like, it brings me back to, like, the times where I just felt like girls would always just be so jealous of you and negative and try and put you down, and I just feel like that's not where we're needing to be. Where we need to be is, like, bringing each other up, 110%. The train today, I keep saying stories about the train today, but there was just so much going on, so, like, the couple had sat down at the table, and I was genuinely, like, shitting myself. Then, obviously, I have to change trains, and when I'm changing trains, I had to run for the next one, and it's, like, one of those ones where it's, like, does anyone else, like, feel so awkward? Like, it's, like, these embarrassing public moments that you have, and I'm just thinking, everyone's staring at me right now, like, I genuinely can't, like, I'd want to crawl in, like crawl under a rock, and I'm like, it's like getting the ick in public. Like, when you see someone, you get the ick. I'm like, if somebody sees me running right now, they're gonna get so the ick. They're gonna know, like, she's late for a train, and that is, like, the biggest ick. Like, I've heard, like, girls be like, a man dropping something and picking it up, that's the ick. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. So imagine me running to this fucking next train, and oh my god, like, a couple of people seen me, and I was just like, this is really humbling, like, genuinely. But when I got onto it, I was like, right, surely this train will be better and the people will be nicer, and he let me on the train. That was when I was like, high hopes for today. That's when he was like, you can go, and I was like, thanks, I appreciate that, because the last people didn't even want to really sit at my table and they were giving me dirties, so that was nice. And it wasn't until I got to like almost there, I'm watching this woman and she's staring at me. She's staring at me and she's like seductively like sucking on this lollipop and like proper like whirling it about her gums, and I'm like, damn, like honestly that bitch, I'm like, that must taste good. Like, what lolly is that? Like, dead ass, what flavour are you eating? Because that shit looks good, you know, like she's making this shit look good. And then she starts like pure like, she was mangling up this lolly anyway, like good for her, hope she enjoyed it. Genuinely, I wanted a bite. If she'd offered me a lick, I would have took it. On this, the amount of eye contact she made with me, crazy. You'd actually think I had a fucking, she was wanting me to have a wee lick of it, I think. Ooh. But anyway, if you're watching this, geese a lick next time, honestly, like genuinely. That's a hair. Girls that have bleached hair, y'all don't understand, like, y'all don't understand, like, anybody with natural hair, yous will not understand either. Like, I've been dyeing my hair since I was so young, and it's been getting bleached since, I genuinely, like, I remember going to a hairdresser one time, and she's like, your scalp will be like leather, it'll be like a leather cap. And I was like, it doesn't feel like a fucking leather cap, it feels like every single time my hair gets bleached and toned, a bleach and tone. It's agonising, genuinely. And I'm always bleaching it and then toning it right away, and it's like your pores are all opened and your scalp's already like half charcoaled off from like the burning sensation. You're putting toner in that and it's a nightmare. Anyway, stream a bleach and tone, because like I'm gonna need one of them soon. Ignore the fact that I forgot a powder and I genuinely look like the Tin Man right now. Story of my life. Slay the oily skin girlies. All you dry skin girlies don't understand how easy you've got it. I'm joking. I'm not kidding. I would die for dry skin genuinely sometimes, especially in the summer. I feel like all I do is sweat. Can we talk about that? No. No one wants to talk about that, Aleah. But yeah, no. So going on to women supporting women, like, what do we think about that? Like, I genuinely feel like I was such a hater for a while, because like so many girls were doing me so dirt. So I was getting to the point where I was like, I can't just support all these women that keep fucking me over. But honestly, see, at this point, like, if you're out there being a good person and moving mad with the fucking like just support, then you can't really go wrong. Do you know what I mean? Like, see, when it comes to other girls and it's like they're genuinely going all out their way being a hater and stuff like that, like genuinely going out their way to maybe like comment something negative on your Instagram, or like be nice to your face but like chat shit behind your back, like that's on them. Like, I just want everyone to know, if you've ever like smiled at someone or like complimented someone or just like been nice and made friends and like made a woman feel comfortable, like go you, like you are, again, like you're doing, like you're bettering yourself as a person. And whilst those other people who are being so negative, like, that's just on them, you know, like, never take it personally. And one thing that I do a lot is take stuff personally, to be fair, so I've got a cheat giving that out. But try not to take it personally. It's so not on you, it's more on them. But, like, don't let that stop you from making new friends and stuff. I feel like that is a big part where I was nervous, especially when I joined my dancing. I genuinely felt like everyone's going to be so scary in here, like everyone's going to be so intimidating, and they're genuinely like the nicest girls ever. Like, these women are so supportive and just so incredibly just like the most just unreal. They're quality. Like, that's all I can say. They're so nice, so supportive. I could actually sit here all day just listening off so many things that they're just the people I needed in my life, you know? And if I hadn't took that step to do that, I would never have met them. So I would never tell anyone don't do something, or like don't talk to them. Or if you feel like they could be a bitch, do it. Just talk to them anyway, just be nice, you know? Kill them with kindness. And see if they are being a bitch to you, kill them with kindness. There's nothing more annoying than when someone's trying to shit on you and make you visibly upset than for you to come back and just be happy about it. Honestly. Like, has anyone tried that and it's worked? Like, because I feel like the best thing you can do if someone is being jealous or giving you like hate is just coming back and just being like, yeah, you know, like, and what, like, I hope you're having a happy life, because you sound like a really happy person, you know, like, you're not the issue, and I never want anyone to think that. So if you feel like, oh fuck, genuinely story of my life, but if you feel like you are just constantly getting just shat on by girls, like, don't worry about it. Like, it's more on them than it is you. So just take time to yourself and just find the people that actually do support you, because I'm telling you, they are out there. Believe me, if I can find them, you can. Another thing about like groups as well is there's a lot of like kind of cliquey groups out there. Like, obviously I was saying earlier like how my pal was so like, he was thinking about like all these girls being like, oh, so like the girls that do this and the girls that do that, and I was like, what do you mean? Like, he just sees women as like little of groups, you know, like he was like, you're in your own little group, and I just feel like that's such a male thing to think, like, you know, like he sees like everyone like, you know, there's like the kind of nerdy, like, you know, in school when you get like all the different groups, so you'd be like the goths and like the nerds and like stuff like that, and like the jocks and stuff like that. I genuinely feel like some guys see women as just like different little categories, so like you get like the artsy kind of girls and stuff like that. And he was telling me, he was kind of talking to me about like people he's dating and all that, and like he's like matching with girls and stuff like that, and he was just kind of like, none of them are my type. And I was like, but like, how do you decipher your type? Do you know what I mean? Like, how do they do that? Like, they genuinely, it's crazy how some guys will just go for like, say, blondes with specific eye colour, specific style, and then that's what they'll roll off of. Like, I find that so like bizarre. But I feel like with girls, it's like you get like tall, dark, and handsome and stuff like that, but they don't go in as deep as personality and stuff like that as well. Do you know what I mean? But with some guys, it's like they proper are listing off like whole, like genuinely, like they've categorized you. Do you know, like they genuinely put you in categories. So yeah, that kind of like surprised me. I was kind of like, wow, I was kind of taken aback by that. It's like they really won't ever like explore out of their like little group that they've dabbled in. I don't know, kind of weird. And if they do, they kind of like fetishize it in a way. Like, do you know what I mean? Like they'll just kind of, like, I get it a lot being tattooed. It's like, wow, you've got so many tattoos. Like, what other piercings do you have? And it's like, oh my god, like, please, for the fucking love of God, like, it's so cringe. Like, see if you ever try to chat up a lassie and she's got loads of piercings and you're going like, what else do you have pierced? And then you just like look down. Don't do that. Not a good move. Please just stop asking. Or like, do you have any tattoos I can't see? That's another absolute bold move. Just don't. I feel like there's been never ever a good relationship with a guy come about. Never even a friendship, actually, for that matter. You know, like even an acquaintance has came out of him saying that type of stuff. So if you're one of those guys that say that type of shit, please don't. That's as if me going up to like a guy and saying that, and I just feel like I would never, like, that's just so cringe. Like, this is what I mean. Like, men are so unaware sometimes. Do you know what I mean? Like, they have, like, when he's talking about like categorizing, you know, kind of have his own categories in a way, and then they say shit like that. They're like, oh, I've never been with a girl with tattoos. And it's like, I'm still a fucking girl. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm still, like, I have personality. I've got more to me than just like what I wear and how I dress. Yeah, it's so weird. It's like they see you as almost just like a little accessory, like a wee Barbie doll. But yeah, stream that. Like, literally stream the way fucking men view women. It's great. I'm not saying all men. I'm fucking not having the fucking, like, guys being like, oh, she would say that. No, I fucking, like, genuinely, I've experienced it. Genuine guys have done it to me. Like, this is my views. This is my opinion. And I'm pretty sure other women will understand where I'm coming from too. Depending whether if like, women wear glasses, men will comment on that. Just weird shit, like, all about, like, and it's also kind of like, the kind of like corn industry, it's kind of, you know, everyone's kind of fetishizing off of that. So like the tats and the piercings and like glasses, like different colours of hair. It's kind of scary. Like, it's actually kind of crazy. It's like they genuinely just see you as like their fantasies rather than like you as a person. Sometimes I'm saying sometimes because I genuinely don't want chat on because someone's like met the love of their life and they've changed their views on it. But I'm telling you, like, some, like, I'm not going to say majority either. That's genuinely, you know what, yeah, majority of men would probably think like that, dead ass. Like, I genuinely do believe that they see women like that up until they've maybe matured and they genuinely just settle with someone because maybe they tick all their boxes. It's kind of like that mentality of like the 90%, 10%. So it's like a guy will see you as his 90%, but you're missing something. Like, girl, you missing that 10%, and he's really going to run with that. Like, whether that be like your boobs aren't big enough or like, you know, something like that. Like, he wants someone with a bigger bum. He will genuinely leave you for that 10% of that other woman just having, say, like, a bigger ass. Wild. Crazy. Like, you could be funny, do loads of things for him, and you could have like maybe like a couple downsides where you're just like more like kind of emotionally attached to some like things, or like, and he's like, nah, do you know what, fuck that, I want the lassie with a big arse. Yeah, she does not have any other qualities like humour or anything like that, or even personality, but that 10% that I was lacking from you for so long, I can now get it. Go on. Wire in. That's what I say. Wire in. So another thing he said too, actually, was one of my friends said, and I'm just thinking of this now, and I just find it really funny. It was like, he was like, you can like talk about the fact that girls, oh, what was it he said? It was like, girls always start when girls get their license, because, you know, women drivers, they always get a Fiat 500, and then why do they always upgrade to an Audi like TT or like an Audi A1? He said, and I was just like, is that seriously what he thinks like we're all going to relate to? Like, that's crazy. He was like, yeah, and then so many girls will be like, wow, my friend just got a Fiat 500, that's so funny, I'll send it to her. And I sat there and I did laugh, but I was thinking to myself, like, girl, like, you would not catch me saying that. Like, for real, I can't say shit. Like, my mum literally got a fucking Fiat 500. That wasn't her. That was literally her first car. Oh, do you know what? Maybe he right. Maybe he fully right, actually, on that one. She didn't get an Audi next, though. Jesus Christ. Like, who's getting an Audi? Did any of you get an Audi next? That's crazy. To be fair, like, that's nothing to even, like, laugh about. That's actually kind of, like, Fiat to Audi. Go you, girl. Like, proud of you. Like, literally. And I just, like, it's so crazy, like, to me, like, how women are just seen to be just looked down upon in a way. Like, I don't know, I just feel like there's still misogyny in this day and age where men are still like, oh, but now you can work the same jobs as us and stuff like that, but they still kind of see us as, like, it's like their insecurities won't allow them to still see us as, like, level ground and, like, balanced, do you know what I mean? Like, they still kind of want to be the dominant one, which is so fair, but also, like, go to therapy, like, do you know what I mean? Like, just because, like, I decided to, like, pay your meal at dinner doesn't make, like, you know, like, don't blow your fucking fuse, like, do you know, it's just, like, it's one of those ones. But I also do feel like the girls that expect the men to do everything are also kind of crazy too. Like, you can't just, like, sit back and, like, let him do everything, like, surely, because it's like, it's your life, live it, you know, your way. Like, that's what I cannot say enough, is, like, if you're in a relationship, then fair enough, but you really only have yourself in this life. Like, you genuinely, like, you need to learn and become comfortable with yourself, and it is good to have a good sustainable group of, like, women around you as well. Like, this is saying this as a girl, saying about having girl friends, do you know? I'm not expecting you to be a man right now and be like, oh yeah, so I need, like, 8 chicks. But to be fair, like I said, like, my friend last night, he does have, like, a little group of girls that surround him, and they're all so intelligent and so smart, and he's really smart too, but he was just kind of, like, it was almost like he kind of dumbed himself down to my level and kind of played into that, and I was just like, that's hilarious that he thinks, like, that's the type of shit that people are going to relate to. And now he knows that this is why I'm the one doing that and he's not. No, I'm kidding. I love him to death, man. And he'll probably be watching this like, that fucking bitch, man. Because I did kind of rope him into it. I was sat there, I was like, so what should I talk about, man? Because I just knew he would give me some funny shit. Like, I just knew it. And as soon as he said the Fiat 500 thing, I was like, yeah, I'm fucking running with that. Like, you're getting dragged to shit for that, mate. Like, any chances you get another girlfriend out the fucking window, just down to me. If you want his Instagram, guys, to avoid him, just let me know and I'll DM him privately. I'm kidding. He actually needs a girlfriend, man. Hit him up. But yeah, so that's kind of like my views on it. Like, I totally think, like, women just need to support themselves no matter what. Even if you've got those hater women in your life, get them out, get them gone. And you know what, even just try and bring them up. Like, I'm not saying help them, I'm not saying, like, if they fucked you over, then fair enough, but everyone's kind of going through their own shit, and I cannot stress that enough. Like, you just got to be authentic to you. Like, if you want to do something and everything, like, people are saying it's cringe, or, like, other girls are saying it's cringe, like, that's more on them, and I cannot stress that enough. That is more on them. They would never do the type of shit that you can do. Just fucking run with it. Like, everyone can do different stuff, and that's what makes it cool. Like, we're all different. We're not all in these wee fucking groups. You can't just see me as a tattooed and pierced lasses and stick me in the fucking, do you know what I mean, like the golf class, like with the rest of the golfs and that, because every single one of them are all different. I don't even listen to golf music, so I'm not even considered that. They just see you, stick you in a category, and, you know, they stick you in a box with a label, and I just feel like that's not on anymore. So be your fucking self, do what you fucking want. If you want to wear those clothes, wear them, because who cares what anyone thinks? And if they're all bringing you down, whether that be men or females, get them what the fuck, genuinely. Just do what you fucking want. Do what you love. Like, whatever you enjoy, roll with it. And whether that be, like, just, it's like, what I cannot stress enough as well is do the stuff you love to meet the people that you'll bond with. Like, I started dancing out of complete sheer, like, insecurity, and I genuinely, like, I cannot stress enough how nervous I was to do this, thinking, wow, I'm going to go here and all these women are going to be fucking shit hot at it. But at the end of the day, they all had to start somewhere. That's the same, that goes for everything in life. Like, we've all started from the ground and been building ourselves up, do you know what I mean? And the least we can do is kind of help each other build each other's kind of empires and just help each other. Do you know what I mean? Like, would you rather be building your city and have other ones to visit with other people and have support, or would you rather just be a complete lone wolf in this? Do you know what I mean? Like, the thing about life is, it doesn't matter about the materialistic things inside of it. It's all about the love in it. And if the more love you have and the more support people you have, the more successful you are going to be in the long run. So just fucking support everyone. Girls support girls. That's now where I'm standing. I do feel like I have struggled to do that in the past. And as soon as I started to actually just be like, you know what? If they're mean, that's on them. My life started to get better. 110%. And I started to actually accept and let people in who were actually real people support me. And support them back. And it's been fucking brilliant. So support your fucking local females anyway. Do you know what I mean? Just support everyone. Girls supporting girls. Come on, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye!